This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Parole outrage. A grieving Cape Breton man slams unescorted leave for the drunk driver who killed 4 family members. Cradle crisis. A lack of infant childcare spaces leaves Nova Scotia families with nowhere to turn. And cabin reclaimed. From fossil museum to community heart, Joggins takes back its beloved log lodge.
It's weekend time, and you're going to need the sunglasses, but you're also going to need the winter jacket. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. A Cape Breton man who lost 4 relatives in a drunk driving crash is speaking out tonight. David Fletcher is upset the man behind the wheel has been granted unescorted visits with his family 4 years into his 16-year sentence. Kyle Moore reports.
It's been more than 4 years since David Fletcher has seen his father, sister, niece and nephew alive, all of them killed by a drunk driver in Quebec in 2021.
We're still grieving. My mother's in bed, she's traumatized.
Traumatized because the man behind the wheel has been granted unescorted visits with his family. Eric Legaret was under the influence of alcohol and speeding when the vehicle he was driving crashed into 3 other vehicles waiting for a left turn signal at an intersection in Beauport, Quebec. Legaret was sentenced to 16 years in prison. Now, 4.5 years later, he will be allowed to visit family once a month for 72 hours.
My family's over there in Ernst. I don't get to see my family for 72 hours a month. I'd give 10 minutes just to see them.
The Parole Board of Canada says Legaret's conduct in prison justifies the decision and feels he doesn't represent a risk to society. Legaret is not to consume alcohol or drugs and to have no contact with the victim's family.
We were told during the court process, to maintain our cool and stuff like that, not to have any outbursts, and we'll get you a good sentence, and this is what'll happen, and he'll serve a good sentence. And 4.5 years later, the same system that was telling me that is slapping me in the face.
Fletcher says his family has been through a lot over the years. His mother lost her brother Neil Burrows in the Sydney River McDonald's murders in 1992.
She went through all the parole board hearings there. Now she's going through parole hearings for her husband, her daughter, and her 2 grandkids.
Fletcher says all they have left now are memories. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Dominion.
Thousands of families across the province are placed on daycare wait lists, hoping to get a spot for their kids. But due to a limited number of infant spaces, it can be especially hard to secure childcare for some of our youngest Nova Scotians. Selena Alders reports.
Melina Mailman's 6-month-old son has been on daycare waitlists since before he was born. But that still wasn't enough time to guarantee him a spot at a licensed childcare centre.
I was still pregnant at the time, so I'm not sure how much earlier I could have signed up, but apparently that is too late.
Mailman is set to return to work in September, when her son will be just under a year old. The problem is, only about 1/3 of daycare centres across the province can accommodate babies under 18 months.
Some people are very desperate, some people are in tears, some people are they don't know what they're going to do because they have to get back to work, and we just don't have any easy answers for them.
Bonnie Minard runs a daycare in Dartmouth. The centre has room for 8 infants, but there's more than 330 families on a wait list for one of those spots. Minard says spots for babies are limited because they're more expensive to care for. The Education Department says there are about 1,300 infant spaces in childcare centres across the province. Nearly 200 of those have been added since 2021. The province is currently funding a number of daycare expansions, which they say could bring an additional 440 new infant spots. Spots which, for Alicia Jubis, could not come soon enough. She's also set to return to work in September, but there are few childcare options in her community.
We haven't heard from any daycares. Here in Elmsdale, there's one that takes them at 12 months, and then all the rest take them at 18. So the wait list for that one place is sky high.
For mailmen, she says her family will take what they can get, but she wishes parents didn't have to be so desperate.
As soon as someone guarantees you a spot, you have to go with it because chances are really low that you're going to get another one.
The province acknowledges that daycare for our youngest Nova Scotians can be hard to come by, and they say they're working to improve the childcare system as a whole. Selena Alders, CBC News, Halifax.
Prime Minister Mark Carney met with Premier Tim Houston today to sign an agreement to streamline approvals for major projects.
That is how we will move the economy of our country and certainly of Nova Scotia forward. So thank you. Excellent. Love having you here.
Great.
Thank you.
Nova Scotia is the fourth province to sign such a deal dubbed One Project, One Review. One example would be Nova Scotia's ambitious Wind West project, which calls for construction of Canada's first offshore wind turbines and transmission lines. Environment Minister Tim Holman says the thrust of the agreement is that the two levels of government will work more closely to eliminate duplication.
Everything more or less stays the same, but what you have now is the two levels of government saying, let's lock arms, let's work together, let's give confidence to the residents of our provinces, to the citizens of Canada, that we can do this responsibly and safely, all regulators working together.
Hallman says the agreement will give companies and investors confidence that projects won't become entangled in regulatory purgatory. Prime Minister Carney also made a trip to southwest Nova Scotia today. He was in West Pubnico alongside Acadie-Annapolis MLA Chris D'Entremont. Carney greeted locals and took a tour of the Dennis Point Lobster Wharf. Premier Tim Houston spoke to reporters today for the first time since Nova Scotia Power got board approval to raise electricity rates. Opposition politicians have been calling for Houston to use legislation to make electricity more affordable. But Houston says the only solution is more competition.
If you legislate something around low income, they're going to try to make that up on other rates and push other rates on other Nova Scotians. So we take a number of measures to try to support vulnerable Nova Scotians. We continue to tax, lower in taxes, all kinds of rent subsidies. There's all kinds of initiatives that we would take to support Nova Scotians.
A new electricity provider that's building its first wind farm on the South Shore recently started signing up clients. Houston says he's working to increase competition further. And Ryan's here with the first look at the weather. So a rainy start, but then it cleared out a bit.
Cleared out, cooled down though, as the northerly winds have been dropping temperatures slowly but steadily throughout the day today. And we're looking at that temp to drop even further overnight, -8 to 12 to start Saturday morning. And we recover, but yes, a January feel to the day tomorrow, no question. -1 to -2 in the southwest, -4 to -5 in the northeast. Those northerly winds will ease, thankfully, with a chance for some flurries both Saturday and Sunday, but we are looking at some sunshine in the mix both days as well. You can see Sunday's temperatures are back up at least closer to the freezing mark. We should be around 5-6 degrees this time of year. So definitely a chilly weekend. Now, as we look ahead, there's that trough that we're going to be watching that will spark some flurries for Sunday. That moves through. Then into early next week, we're looking at perhaps a little bit of wet snow for Monday, but a change to showers and a midweek warm up. We'll talk about that with your 7-day coming up.
Like the sound of that. All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Premier Tim Houston says tolls being placed on the New Brunswick side of the border would amount to a tariff on Nova Scotians. He was responding for the first time since New Brunswick's government announced plans to have tolls in Allac by 2028.
Every province is dealing with significant budget pressures, and we're all trying to deal with them a little differently. So I understand they're feeling budget pressure, so I understand and get that. But this is a time when we're trying to, more remove any barriers interprovincially from people and products and stuff. So it's an unfortunate decision.
Houston says officials from his government have had conversations about the tolls with their New Brunswick counterparts, but he's not spoken directly with Premier Susan Holt. Kayla Hounsell has more on the decision and the backlash.
This is the only stretch of road linking Nova Scotia to New Brunswick
and the rest of Canada, a key trade link in the Atlantic region. Now the New Brunswick government wants to put a toll booth here.
I don't think anybody's happy about it, but it is what it is.
The toll will be in the New Brunswick border town of Aulac. It will only apply to visitors, directly affecting people in the Nova Scotia border town of Amherst, some of whom cross the border for work and school every day.
It feels like we're almost betrayed in a way.
New Brunswick tabled its budget last week with a nearly $1.4 billion deficit. The province says the toll is part of its solution to tackle mounting debt.
If we put $3-4 on people coming into our province to help pay for our infrastructure, I think that's fair.
It comes as governments across Canada have been trying to knock down barriers to interprovincial trade in the face of a trade war with the U.S. The federal government recently reduced the tolls on the Confederation Bridge from Prince Edward Island from more than $50 down to $20.
That's good for Prince Edward Island, it's good for New Brunswick. A toll in Aulac is no good for any of us.
Communities and economies across Atlantic Canada are extremely interconnected. An estimated 2,500 commercial vehicles cross this stretch of highway every day, carrying $35 billion in goods a year.
This is just very counterintuitive and counterproductive to the work that's being done across this country right now.
The Trucking Association says the toll cost will affect truckers nationwide and will inevitably trickle down to consumers. New Brunswick doesn't plan to install the tolls until 2028, but says they'll then bring in around $10 million a year in revenue. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
Meanwhile, at Province House, hundreds of people turned out to yet another protest against the arts cuts in the provincial budget.
What if we cut back paying our taxes?
The budget passed on Wednesday after being stalled late Tuesday night due to protesters inside the legislature. The public has since been banned from the building. Protesters outside today say despite the budget passing, they will continue to make their voices heard. Tenders for landscaping and housing construction have been issued for the former Tartan Downs horse racing track in Sydney. The project is being managed for Cape Breton University by an organization called the Urban Neighbourhood Development Association. The first phase will build 2 apartment blocks and 4 townhouses, totaling 146 new housing units. The development will offer a mix of affordable and market units, with a small portion set aside for students. For many small towns, a community hall is more than just wood and nails. It's the town's heartbeat. After losing several key institutions over the last year, a local committee in Joggins has successfully lobbied to take back ownership of the town's log cabin. Luke Ettinger reports.
15-2, 15-4, and 2 is 6, right?
Cribbage nights are just one of the community events at the Joggins log cabin. In January, the municipality of Cumberland Council voted to transfer building ownership back to the Joggins Improvement Committee. A former version of the group built the log cabin in the 1990s to house fossils from the area and provide tourist information. Committee Chair Darlene Rathburn hopes the building can be a space for the community to come together.
There's nothing left here. We lost the churches. We lost the fire department last year. We were turning into a ghost town.
The fire department was unexpectedly shut down last year due to municipal concerns, including about firefighter conduct. Rathburn's brother, John Reed, was part of the original effort to raise funds to purchase the land and build the wooden structure he hopes is around for decades to come.
I was very glad to see they turned it back to the community to give it a try, because this, other than the Legion, this is the last standing hall, standing building that can be used for recreation.
The log cabin, which can be rented by the public, hosts card players, has a little library and gift shop. The group is also working to install a kitchen in the building.
We'd like to have, get the permits so we could have like a coffee shop for the local people to have some place to just hang out.
Rathburn says a visitor information center and small museum will be open this summer as the group continues to look for grants and fundraise to support building operations. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Joggins.
A snowy scene in Cape Breton's Lake Olaw Provincial Park. Ryan's up next with the full forecast. Please stay with us.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
And Ryan is here with his full forecast. Good news, weekend's here.
Yeah.
But some layers probably would be advisable, right?
Especially in the mornings. I mean, once the sun comes out, the winds are going to be relatively light both days. So if the sun comes out, it's not going to feel too bad. I did say it would feel kind of like January. Temperature-wise, it will, but that sun angle so high in the sky, that is going to help. That
so you need the sunglasses, too.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do our best. We'll do our best to walk you through it. Have a look at our beautiful webcam.
Looks like summer there, doesn't it?
It does. It does. The grass almost looks like it's greening up a little bit. Beautiful.
Power of positive thinking.
That's right. Beautiful Lunenburg this evening. And thanks to our friends at NovaScotiaWebcams.com for that beautiful shot. And yes, in Lunenburg, it's 2 degrees right now, as well as Halifax 3 at Backrow. That's our hotspot right now. -3 to -4 across Cape Breton, -1 across the Northumberland shore. The winds, they have been ushering in this cooler air today. We're sustained in the 20-30 kilometer per hour range, 30 to 40 across Cape Breton, and we've been seeing some gusts upwards of 60 kilometers per hour over the last few hours in through Cape Breton. Those winds will continue to be fairly breezy overnight tonight. As we look at the satellite radar picture, the system pulling away. We've been looking at a fair amount of sunshine today. There goes the front, and behind that front is this very chilly air, which is spilling in across eastern Canada and even into the northeast parts of the U.S. This is the next system we're going to be watching. And in fact, a little trough moving through the Great Lakes that will be influencing us a little bit with a chance for flurries on Sunday. Note temperatures have leveled off here across much of the U.S. South, still 30 in Vegas and 37 in Phoenix. Temperatures across Canada, not quite as deep cold as it was yesterday along the along the Canadian-U.S. border, but it is still pretty chilly. Okay, overnight lows tonight, -7 to -10, 11, even some -12s and 13s up in Cumberland County. We're going to be seeing northerly winds tonight, 20, gusting to 40, and yes, even gusting to 50 kilometers per hour overnight in Cape Breton. Clear skies, though, or at least mostly clear as things stay quiet. An isolated risk for a flurry overnight tonight in through Inverness County. Otherwise, it's quiet. Now for tomorrow, generally a mix of sun and cloud. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if the clouds dominate at times down here through Shelburne County in the southwest. That's also where we have a chance for some isolated flurries. Can't rule out an isolated flurry in Metro. The best chance for some isolated flurries tomorrow are going to be here across Cape Breton and the Northumberland shore. And here I also expected the clouds will dominate a little bit more than the sun will, especially into the afternoon. But generally, yes, a quiet day, a mix of sun and cloud, and we will be looking at those temperatures staying brisk for this time of year. -4 to -7 across Cape Breton. We'll look at northerly winds, 30 kilometers per hour, -3 to -5 for the eastern parts of the mainland, -2 to -6 across central parts of the province tomorrow. Coolest, obviously, Amherst, back through Tatamagouche, Halifax near -2 tomorrow, and into the southwest. Temperatures ranging from 0 in Shelburne to around -3 to -5 from Digby up through the Annapolis Valley tomorrow. Okay, Sunday, temperatures back closer to freezing, still 5-6 degrees cooler than where we should be for this time of year, but at least more tolerable. And yes, that chance for flurries coming in along this trough, which is going to be rolling across the province, sparking up some clouds, and the chance for isolated flurries from west to east throughout the day on Sunday. We've got this system moving in for Monday. Could bring some wet snow for the commute on Monday morning, changing to showers as we roll through the day. Temperatures are going to bump up into the mid-single digits. We're looking at, yesterday we were talking about the potential for a messy mix April Fool's Day. That's now looking more likely Tuesday afternoon, evening, overnight. But it looks like we're, for the most part, going to be into the warm sector of this system. So a brief messy mix, then temperatures rising as we move into Wednesday. Potential for some double digits, but again, that's April Fool's Day. So I'm not believing anything till we're a little bit closer. But certainly the models are indicating, Amy, that we could see a little warm push mid next week, which would be nice to kick off April.
Yeah, I hope the joke's not on us,
exactly.
Right? Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
If you're planning a trip to New Brunswick this spring or summer, you can now do so with the help of AI. The New Brunswick Tourism Department has developed a new AI chatbot. But as the CBC's Sam Farley reports, it might actually lead tourists astray.
Could an AI chatbot plan your next New Brunswick vacation? The provincial government thinks so.
Well, we want to go where the visitors are. We want to reach them. So this is a tool to help the visitors, the tourists, to plan their trip to New Brunswick. So it's basically a chat. So you can chat online with Explora, our friend Explora, who can give you advices, data, all kind of advices to plan your trip to New Brunswick.
The contract costs the provincial government $28,000 a year. Simply type in a question and up pops an answer. The company that created it, Guide Geek, says it was tested by provincial government officials before it was rolled out.
We tell them, we'll say, try and break it, like try and make it say something that you wouldn't want said. And that we passed that with flying colors. And so they've all, I don't know how many people within the government have tested it, but we've definitely shared it with them and gotten some feedback from many of them.
So we did try to break it, and here's what we found. Dozens of factual errors or inconsistencies. If you ask about Lakeside Provincial Parks, up pops North Lake Provincial Park. The same tourism department unveiling the AI model just announced that park would not open this year because of budget cuts. And it's winter, so you want to ask about winter adventure opportunities here. Explora suggests famous destinations like the Hopewell Rocks or the Fundy Trail Parkway Provincial Park, both of which are closed in the winter. How about our famous covered bridges? The William Mitten Covered Bridge in Riverview was torn down last year after neglect, but if you ask Explora if you should visit, it will still suggest you go take a look. The tourism minister says this year's budget is not finalized yet, so they haven't updated online information about North Lake Provincial Park. As for the other errors, she says they will be fixed.
We absolutely need to correct that. So we will make sure to make sure that these informations are adequate and correct.
Errors in New Brunswick tourism marketing are not new. A day after this AI model was announced, a Liberal minister questioned outdated information and factual errors made in tourism promotions overseen by the previous progressive Conservative tourism minister, Tammy Scott Wallace.
New Brunswick, she said that St. John was the capital of New Brunswick. She talked about the Cherrybrook Zoo. The problem with the zoo is that it's been closed for 5 years now.
CBC News found several instances where Explora made the same mistake, saying that St. John is the province's largest city. But the company says mistakes are to be expected at the start and they can be easily fixed. And New Brunswick is ahead of the curve by adopting AI now.
I mean, there's no denying it that human face-to-face interaction is the best. That's the foundation of travel. That's why we travel, to meet people and learn and engage 100%. We just look at something like Guide Geek as a quicker and better way to get information. It's in no way meant to take away from any other human interaction.
Coming up, health officials in Nova Scotia say they've seen a drastic drop in RSV cases since launching a vaccination program. In the fall, Nova Scotia spent $6.9 million to launch a new program to vaccinate or protect infants and some seniors against RSV. The province says it has been a success. And for more on this, we're joined by Dr. Jesse Cancer, Nova Scotia's Deputy Chief Medical Officer of Health. So when you look at the data that's been coming in this season, what do the numbers tell you?
Sure. So for RSV, we look at a few things. One is pure case counts. How many Nova Scotians do we know have gotten RSV? And compare that to previous years. So one thing that we've seen so far with the season, it's not quite over yet. We have about another month to go with it. But there's been a drastic reduction in the number of case counts we have for RSV. So for context, at this point last year, we had well over 2,000 cases that were reported to us. This year, that number is halved. It's just over 1,000. So you look at that and say, there's been a big difference from that. Sometimes that can be because of the respiratory season itself. Every respiratory season is a bit different. Things circulate at different volumes at different times. And so that certainly could be part of it, but without a doubt, vaccines have played a part here. We know that for the group that is eligible for vaccines, and I think of that, that 75-plus-year-old group in the community, we know that the vaccine is expected to reduce by half the number of visits they're making to a family doctor or pharmacist for things like RSV. And so there's no doubt that the vaccines have had a significant impact for that group. We've also been giving RSV as an antibody to children as well. So new babies under 8 months old. And again, with it just becoming a notifiable disease this year, we'll get more data on case counts, but there's without a doubt an improvement on the RSV front for Nova Scotians, and more people have been able to spend a healthier winter because of the vaccine program.
Well, can you talk about what kind of impact RSV can have when someone gets it, especially for infants and seniors?
Sure. And so all of us can get RSV, and it's one of those things that you might experience and you don't even know about it. But it's that typical set of symptoms that make you feel like you've got some sort of upper respiratory tract infection. So you've got sniffles, you feel unwell. But we're really concerned about people who are really young, and so those infants we were just talking about, and seniors who have worse outcomes, right? And so it can lead to something a bit more serious in terms of an infection. You think of something like a pneumonia, a bronchiolitis, definitely something that can impact these people and not just be bad infections, but lead to bad outcomes as well. And so we think that, especially in this age group, they might need to be hospitalized, right? They may actually, at some point, need to be admitted to an ICU, or in some cases, die from this. And so we have seen that happen for some Nova Scotians this year, but again, not to the same extent. So it's something we care about. It exists because we do think it makes a big difference in preserving some of our healthcare capacity and making sure that Nova Scotians can stay healthier throughout respiratory season.
Do you expect this program will renew next year?
Yeah, so far, yes, the program, I think, has continued to go on. It's been a program that's seen good uptake from the community as well. So for awareness, it is not what we'd consider a typical respiratory vaccine, so not something that you need to get every single year. But as you become eligible for it based on age, you can get it. So right now, our numbers are around, I think it's about a 35% uptake, which is good, and we expect to see that number continue in the future as the programs are still rolled out.
Now, we're also nearing the end of flu season. What kind of match was the flu vaccine for the dominant strain that's been circulating?
Yeah, so great question, right? And so you would have heard us telling people in December and November, please go get vaccinated, because we think this year it's going to be a strong case of this virus that may not be perfectly matched, and any type of protection you can get against it is going to help. And so what we saw this year was just that, a really early start of flu season driven by one particular virus, an influenza A virus, that led to a really strong peak. And so at the end of December, early January, there was this big wave of flu that came through, but it ended very quickly. Now, that's very typical of something like a flu A virus. And what we've been seeing is a bit of a lull throughout January and February. But another one of the viruses that circulates is a flu B virus. And that's been picking up in the past few weeks. And so we're still not done with flu season. It still is, just like the snow is still around for a bit, we're not done with winter yet, and we're not done with respiratory season. And so there is still flu circulating. People might know anecdotally that people in their community or maybe themselves have been sick in the past few weeks. And so it may actually be that. And so we're still offering flu vaccines. They're available in your pharmacy or your whoever you normally get vaccines from. We're not quite done with it yet. And again, going through a bit of the influenza season right now still.
Now, what about COVID? What about COVID cases?
Yeah.
Are you seeing, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, so COVID is still circulating, right? And COVID is we always like to remind people, we talk about it often in terms of respiratory season, but it doesn't follow the typical pattern. We see it throughout the year, and so we still are seeing COVID circulate. It's something we expect to see still over the next few months. It does go into a bit of a lull as the summer begins. But it's still important for people to make sure that they're protected against COVID. And that's why we've launched our spring vaccine campaign for COVID. And so for members more at high risk for a bad outcome from COVID, they're eligible for an additional dose this spring. So that has just opened up this past week. So Tuesday, we've got some more COVID doses available for people in the community who might be eligible for them. And again, it's an active risk. Even if we're now 6 years past the beginning of the pandemic, it is something that, again, we still see it circulate. It's important to protect yourselves through the vaccine when you can.
All right, well, good reminder. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Amy. Take care.
Coming up, U.S. President Donald Trump insists peace talks are going well as Iran issues its own demands. And Transport Canada was warned about a WestJet seating hazard weeks before a passenger's reduced legroom video went viral. Welcome back. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with G7 leaders Friday. He insisted his country could achieve its objectives within weeks, not months, and it could do it without the use of ground troops. That assessment, however, was delivered amid conflicting versions of where things actually stand. The CBC's Katie Simpson is in Doha with the latest.
The status of peace talks, it remains unclear at this time, given the mixed messaging from all parties involved. U.S. President Donald Trump says the talks are going well, so well that he decided to delay that ultimatum he delivered to Iran. He ordered the regime to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, or else the U.S. would target Iranian power plants. But that has been delayed by a total of 10 more days, the new deadline being April 6th. At the same time, Iranian officials insist negotiations are not happening. There are no formal conversations. However, officials have confirmed that messages are being shared through friendly countries acting as intermediaries. As those conversations or the exchange of messages, whatever is happening behind the scenes in this moment, the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he's taking part in a series of high-level meetings with his G7 counterparts in France, talking about the concerns the Americans see once the fighting in this conflict is over.
I did describe to our allies, however, that immediately after this thing ends, we're done with our objectives, one of the immediate challenges we're going to face is an Iran that may decide that they want to set up a tolling system in the Straits of Hormuz. Not only is this illegal, it's unacceptable, it's dangerous to the world, and it's important that the world have a plan to confront it. The United States is prepared to be a part of that plan. We don't have to lead that plan, but we're happy to be a part of it. But these countries have a lot at stake, not just the G7 countries, but countries in Asia and all over the world have a lot at stake and should contribute greatly to that effort.
Anything that complicates shipping through the Strait of Hormuz poses a challenge for global energy markets and could, in effect, mean higher prices for a longer period of time. All of this is happening as the fighting across the Middle East rages on. The U.S. and Israel say they continue to hit military targets across Iran, trying to degrade their military capabilities. At the same time, Iran continues to fire missiles at Israel and missiles and drones at Gulf region countries as well. Israel's defense minister issued a new warning to Iran, saying because Iran continues to target civilian infrastructure and civilian locations, that Israel will intensify its attacks on Iran and expand its target list. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Doha.
The United Nations Human Rights Chief is demanding justice for the victims of an airstrike on a school in southern Iran that killed at least 168 people, the majority believed to be young girls.
Senior U.S. officials have said the strike is under investigation. I call for that process to be concluded as soon as possible and for its findings to be made public.
The calls for the U.S. to conclude its probe came during an urgent debate into the deadly attack, which happened on the first day of the war on Iran. Preliminary findings from a U.S. military investigation say a cruise missile hit the school on February 28th due to a targeting error. The federal New Democrats choose their next leader this weekend. The result will come Sunday at their Winnipeg convention. But starting Monday, an even steeper road lies ahead for whoever proves to be the winner. The CBC's David Thurton has this look at the candidates.
As we speak, New Democrats are voting right now, selecting the next leader of the NDP. 5 candidates are on the ballot. Tennille Johnston, a social worker, is pushing an anti-poverty platform. Tony McQuail wants to put electoral reform back on the political agenda. Rob Ashton, a Vancouver dock worker and labor leader, is in it to unite the working class, bringing back New Democrats. The party lost to the Conservative. The 2 other candidates are Avi Lewis and Heather McPherson. Both are the perceived frontrunners. McPherson is a sitting MP from Alberta. She is positioning herself as the pragmatic candidate, the one who can work with the NDP's provincial wings to rebuild the party.
New Democrats, we're strong. We are government in Manitoba. We are government in British Columbia. We are official opposition in the Yukon, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Nova Scotia. We need to work together.
Pushing transformative policy proposals is Lewis. He's calling for public grocery stores and an end to new fossil fuel expansion.
I feel excited. It's
you know, there's a kind of a jarring disconnect between the amount of energy and momentum at our base and the fact that the country isn't yet aware of it. And so I think this weekend is our coming out party, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
New Democrats face a big decision. It's unclear how many of the 100,000 eligible voters have actually cast their ballot, but they have until Saturday to make up their minds. David Thornton, CBC News, Winnipeg.
U.S. President Donald Trump is putting his mark on that nation's paper currency. Trump's signature is set to appear on U.S. dollars later this year, presumably not the Sharpie size, though. The U.S. Treasury Department says the move is to mark the country's 250th anniversary. No sitting U.S. president has had his signature on the dollar before. Trump has already pushed for a $1 gold-colored coin featuring his likeness. Many Canadians were amused and a little alarmed when a video emerged showing WestJet passengers wedged into their seats thanks to a new configuration that sacrificed legroom for the sake of more rows. Now, CBC News has learned that the federal government had been warned about it weeks before that video went viral. Julia Wong has the exclusive details.
How's your seat, honey?
This is terrible.
A lighthearted tone, but behind it, potential safety concerns. In early January, Lindsay Noble and her 6-foot 3-inch tall husband Rob boarded their WestJet plane for a roughly 5-hour flight to Regina.
His knees, if we hit turbulence, are going to get cracked up against this metal. Second, there's no way that he could actually get into the brace position.
About 2 months ago, WestJet announced it was reversing course on adding an extra row of seats on 43 planes, sacrificing passenger space.
Dad, could you just straighten out your legs there? Impossible.
After videos showcasing the squeeze went viral. Now, documents obtained by CBC News through an access to information request reveal about a month before those viral videos, a flight attendant alerted Transport Canada to an imminent safety risk on reconfigured planes. The warning, also flagged to WestJet, outlined an incident in December where a tall passenger became physically trapped in their seat, only able to get out after force was used. It raised concerns about whether passengers could self-evacuate and called for it to be addressed proactively and for a prompt review. Transport Canada responded to the attendant, saying it followed up with WestJet and was satisfied the airline was assessing this hazard.
Your knee's digging in.
That does not satisfy Noble.
I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I can't believe that you ignored something that involves passengers' safety. That's why you exist.
This professor says he's not surprised by how Transport Canada handled the complaint.
It's a really discretionary matter as to whether they find anything of substance to move forward with it or not.
In a statement, Transport Canada would only say it prioritizes passenger safety and stressed legroom is not federally regulated. WestJet would not comment on the specific complaint, but says in a statement, modifications were made in accordance with Transport Canada's airworthiness standards. The airline says 3 out of 21 already reconfigured airplanes have been converted back. The rest are expected to be done by the end of the year. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
Canada's biggest night in music is almost here. The 55th annual Juno Awards celebrates the best in the business, and there are some big names at the ceremony this time around. The CBC's Griffin Yeager has more on the event.
I just wanna ride.
You can feel the energy in the room here at TD Coliseum in downtown Hamilton. It is crunch time before Sunday's big show, and the stars are getting ready. I mean, look at this awesome stage back here. Set to perform is 9-time Juno Award-winning band Arkells back on their hometown stage here in Hamilton. I caught up with some of the band members ahead of their performance.
The Junos is a great time to reconnect with people and also just to celebrate Canadian music, just to show what we're making here.
The world is pretty tough out there right now. So if you can have any moment to sort of just reflect on what your own small little community is producing, and I think it's a good use of your time.
Moving through the city like a searchlight. Everybody want a diamond. Never had a diamond like my soul.
We live in this massive country, and it is very hard to get everybody together for a weekend. And the Juno Awards do a really remarkable job of pulling all the music community together into one place, and Hamilton's a perfect place to host it.
I mean, there is so much great music coming out of Canada, and this weekend is about celebrating just that and having some fun. Alan Reid, the head of CARIS, the Canadian Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, talked about why it's so important to be platforming Canadian artists up on that stage right now.
We have all these incredible artists here to share their music, and I think it's just very deeply meaningful for Canadians to understand these are the people who are representing our country in music.
So the big show is on Sunday, but the awards start going out Saturday at the opening night gala, where more than 40 Juno Awards will be given out. And heading into the weekend, there is a tight race for those top contenders. Justin Bieber, The Biebs, and Tate McRae lead with 6 nominations each. The Weeknd and breakout star Cameron Whitcomb both have 5. Joni Mitchell will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. Daniel Caesar will pick up the International Achievement Award. Plus, Nelly Furtado will be inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. It's the biggest night in Canadian music, and Hamilton is ready to host the party. Griffin Yeager, CBC News, Hamilton, Ontario.
Canada's main stock index finished narrowly in positive territory, helped by gains in the basic materials sector, while U.S. markets moved lower. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to commercial break.
Whether you're just waking up or you're on your way to work, we're here bringing you compelling stories from across the province.
And keeping you up to date with the latest in news, weather, sports, and traffic.
I'm Portia Clark.
And I'm Matt Brand.
Join us for Information Morning for the Mainland, weekdays on CBC Radio.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
Welcome back. Well, it's viewer picture time. And this time of year, I don't know if it's going to be a snowy scene, a rainy scene, a rainbow.
Yes, that's right. The possibilities are endless, just like the weather has been over the last few weeks, for sure. A tough start to spring, no doubt. We're looking for signs of spring everywhere.
Did you find some?
Included, yes, absolutely. Have a look at this. We're going to zoom in on River John along the Northumberland shore. Beautiful spot, and how about this?
Ah, very nice.
Some pussy willows there. Karen Conrad.
Blue sky. I
and
like
some
it.
blue sky. Great framing there too. And thanks to Karen for sharing this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Love to see the signs of spring. If you can find them this weekend, please do send them in and share.
We need this recorded.
Yes. Temperatures tomorrow. -2 to -5, kind of widespread. Maybe a few spots that do get towards the freezing mark down toward the South Shore region, and a little, obviously, much cooler towards the north and east. That's where temperatures are going to be coolest, -5 to -6. Note the temperatures on Sunday back at least closer to 0. We're going to be right around that freezing mark, -2 Cape Breton, +2 South Shore, and we'll see that chance for flurries moving in with this trough that's going to be moving in from the west. And you can see that moves through pretty quickly, sparking some flurries throughout the day. Nothing to be too concerned about, but things will cloud up a little bit as that trough does move through. Here comes our next system, which will bring some wet flurries and snow Monday morning, and then a change over to showers. So there's the cold air this weekend. Models showing that, yes, there's that push for mid next week. April begins on Wednesday. That would be fitting. And then back to kind of iffy right around the freezing mark, or right around seasonal, that is. But maybe another warm push Easter weekend.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be nice for the Easter Bunny?
Be awesome.
Yes. So lots of variety.
Fingers crossed. Okay. Well, another sign of spring is here. Baseball season is underway. You're looking at this year's Toronto Blue Jays. Plenty of familiar faces and a few new ones. They were just 2 outs away from winning the World Series. We all know how that ended.
Yeah, but there is that sports saying, rather, just wait until next year. And next year begins tonight with the home opener at the Rogers Centre. The Blue Jays begin their 50th season against the Oakland Athletics.
Should be exciting.
Yeah.
All right, that is it for us tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great weekend.